Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Chiru and this is my first Magic the Gathering opening video. Quick disclaimer, I'm sorry for the glare from my light. I'm working off of my phone right now and because that's all I've got. Today I picked up a bundle box for the new set Tarkir Dragonstorm. I haven't been paying any attention to the spoilers online, so I don't really know what's going to be in here. But hopefully we get something cool, so let's pop it open and see what we get. I saw this today when I grabbed it, and I thought maybe somebody got a little risky with what they could manage. Maybe they were thinking they could snag it. I don't know when they got it. Well, that is some nice artwork. Hopefully you can see that without too much of the glare. Here's the box. Gorgeous artwork. Put up here so the glare's not on it. Then we have our spin down. It's very glittery. It's got like a purple glitter to it. Hopefully you can see that. And it's got the Tarkir symbol on the 20. There we go. Let's put that over here for now. And we got some dividers, some counters. Very nice. And we got the land mix promo. Now let's check out the lands real quick. See what all we're getting here. Some nice full arts. Plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest. Oh, okay. So each one has a shadow of one of the spirit dragons on it. That's really cool. I think I like the forest one the most. It looks like the most natural, like that could be an outcropping in the woods. Some gorgeous artwork. Put those right in there. We got this pack. So we have the, what do you call it, the promo? The box topper? I don't know. Teamer Battle Cry, sorry. Teamer Battle Crier. Orc Ranger, 3-drop, 4/3. During your turn, spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. That is going to be amazing in some tribals. Like dragons, where everything has power 4 or greater, roughly. Then we got foil versions of the full art lands. And, oh, foil versions of all the lands, okay. I've not bought a bundle box in a very long time, so you can tell I don't know what I'm looking at. Got 9 packs. Yeah. Put them right there. Start cracking them open. Now, usually when I see people going through these, I see them, do the whole 1, 2, whatever, flip them over. I tend to, I don't know, I guess you could say, overestimate how many cards to look back on, and I always end up spoiling whatever the good card is for myself, so I'm going to try to avoid that. Let's see if I can fix the resolution here. So we have the monk creature token on the back with prowess. So focus the mind. I'm not going to go over every single card, so if you want to, you can go ahead and pause the video to read it, and from my side, I'll do my best to make sure it's visible. And try to avoid this glare here. Sorry for that. And I'll put them over here. So focus the mind. Mardu Devotee. Meticulous Artisan. So there's going to be a lot of prowess in here then. The new mechanics, Omens, reminds me of Adventure. So you can cast a sorcery, sum of instants. The thing is, I don't know yet if we can cast them afterwards, like adventures, so I'll find out in the future. Piercing Exhale. This is the new Behold mechanic. You can reveal a dragon in your hand or choose one in your control, and if you do, you get an extra step. Snowmelt Stag, Embermouth Sentinel. A lot of dragon support for this set, which is great, because Tarkir is one of my favorite sets, and I have, like, a lot of people have a Tiamat deck, so there's going to be a lot of things in here, hopefully I can add to it. Temur Tanibag, am I saying that? Temur Tamur? Strategic Betrayal. Oh, okay. That seems like it could be good. Rally the Monastery. Reverberating Summons. Fangkeeper's Familiar. Oh, see, my brother will like that because he's been working on a Snake Commander for a while and wants to upgrade it. So he's going to be real happy to see a new snake. Aggressive Negotiations. Hopefully you can see that. Windscarred Crag, and then a copy. Obviously for Miram. Put that off to the side there and get on to the next one. Oh, that didn't work. New Spirit token. The artwork for this set is gorgeous. Humbling Elder. Fortress King Guard. Like I said, I don't really know what cards in this set are going to be the hits that people are looking out for. So I don't really have any expectations. I'm just looking at anything that looks like it could go good in one of my decks. Nightblade Brigade, that was Devoted Duelist over there. Roamer's Routine. The new Harmonized mechanic. Cast this card from your graveyard for its harmonized cost. You can tap a creature you control to reduce the cost by X, where X is that creature's power. And then you exile this from, yeah. I feel like that's pretty good. So for 3, you get search your library for a basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped and shuffle, and then potentially pay 1 to do it again. Another Embermouth Sentinel. I feel like we're going to get a lot of copies. Sibsig Appraiser. Encroaching Dragonstorm. Another land searcher. Okay. When the dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. So you can recast some of these cards by just bouncing them back. That's cool. Iridescent Tiger. Interesting. So you add 1 of each color if you cast it from your hand. So essentially that'd be free then. Sandstep Citadel. Roiling Dragonstorm. So we got 2 Dragonstorm cards. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay, I've been hearing that this got reprinted, and I'm really happy I just pulled that. That's cool. Especially because, the Tiamat deck. I can put this in it. So that is awesome. I'm going to keep this one right up here because I know that's good. And we got Dispelling Exhale. A lot of Exhale cards. Okay, so this one's a counter. So you can behold a dragon, so you choose one you control or reveal one in your hand. Counter target spell unless they pay 2, but if you behold a dragon or beheld it, counter it unless they pay 4 instead of 2. So I like that one. Put that up there right with that. Windscarred Crag and a Spirit token. Okay, so double-sided Spirit tokens. That's got me shaking a little bit. It's been a long time since I got a good hit out of a pack. Cool goblin art. So we got Salt Road Pack Beast. Narset's Rebuke. Okay, so that adds mana too. That's cool. We're gonna get a lot more ramp. Kintree Nurturer. Champion of Dusan. Ringing Strike Mastery. Aggressive negotiations again. So we got the non-foil. Jade Cast Sentinel. Oh, another snake. Okay. I'll have to keep those off to the side for my brother. Defibrillating Current. 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and you gain 2 life. Oh, and it's got the I don't remember what that's called, if that's alternate or multi, but that's pretty cool that that's coming back a little. Dragon Brood's Relic. Interesting. Glacial Dragon Hunt with the harmonized mechanic. Desperate Measures. Severance Priest. I got a buddy looking for Abzan, so that'll be cool. Sultai Devotee, that as well. And a foil Rugged Highlands, and a warrior token. On to the next one. We got an art card. My brother also collects those, so go ahead and show that one real quick. So I got Smile at Death. That's pretty nice. There's a lot of art cards out there that I think would make great playmats. Sorry for the dogs in the background. Adorned Crocodile. Einok Wayfarer. Einok. Riverwalk Technique. Alright, sorry for the pause. Had to wait for the dogs to stop barking outside. So the last one we revealed was Einok Wayfarer. Then we went to Riverwalk Technique. Coordinated Maneuver. Narset's Rebuke, the second one of those. Unburied Earth Carver. Reputable Merchant. I kind of like Reputable Merchant, but at the same time that art is like all of their wares are inside the turtle shell. Not sure how I feel about that. Equilibrium Adept. That's cool looking. Sonic Shrieker. Kishla Skimmer? Kishla? Yeah. Nope. See, I'm not good at that whole like slide thing people do. Veteran Ice Climber. Codus the Fangbearer. That is not a bad looking card. I'll put that one off to the side. And then we've got Draconologist. Okay. Untapped dragons you control have hexproof. That's pretty good. I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a pretty solid scratch going right across all the way through. That's a shame, but still pretty cool card. And then we have Dismal Backwater. On to the next one. Dispelling Exhale. Bearer of Glory. Twin Bolt. Cruel Truths. Sagu Wildling. There's another Omen. Hopefully you can see these okay. Another Timiritani back. Monastery Messenger. Kintree Severance. With the mana cost, that's cool. Channeled Dragonfire with Harmonize. Effortless Master. We got something in there. Lotus Light Dancers. That's a cool looking one. Oh, it's a Land Searcher. Okay. And we've got... Oh, that's cool. Sinkhole Scavenger. That's pretty cool looking. Sorry, I got a little off camera there. That's different. That's really neat. They just took the whole text box out and just darkened it. I've never seen that. Got Abzan Devotee. I'm going to put this guy up here for now. A little bit of a mana fixer. We got Bloodfell Caves and Spirit Token. That one though, I haven't even heard of them making anything like that, so that's completely new to me. Dragon Token. Poised Practitioner. Fire Rim Form. Alesha's Legacy. Okay, Alesha. Target creature you control gains Death Touch and indestructible until end of turn. That's pretty good. Sarkon's Resolve. Agent of Codis. I feel like I'm going to mispronounce a lot of the names, but I've also seen other people mispronounce a lot of names too, so I'm not too worried about it. Dragonback Lancer. Like that. Decia. There's no way I'm going to figure that one out. Earth Carver. Guess I'll wait till the professor or somebody online says it, and then I'll know how other people are going to accept how it's pronounced. That'll be good enough for me. Summon Intimidator. Hardened Tactician. Trying to keep that glare off of there. Breaching Dragonstorm. Got quite a few Dragonstorm cards so far. Let's see. Sorry about that. Yeah, gets a little better over there. So, as long as you all can read it. Let's see if I can fix the resolution. There we go. That's a lot better. Lion Weight. Velothar Dawn of the Abzan. Abzan? We've got another Hollow Poise Practitioner. Rugged Highlands and Reliquary Dragon. So it's a token dragon that counts as all colors, has flying lifelink, and when it enters, deals 3 damage to any target. I don't know what makes that yet, but hopefully we get it, because that's pretty cool. Got 3 packs left. Let's see what we get out of them. Without tearing the cards up as we try to open these. So they got another monk. I think I'll hang on to it over here so it's a little easier to see. Can I just do that? Yeah, that works. They got a little glare on top, but I don't know. Eventually I'll get a better light system and better camera and all that. We'll go from there. Delta Bloodflies. Sultai Devotee again. I didn't even realize that's a snake. Okay. Brother's going to be happy with that. Ice Ridge Serpent. Salt Road Pack Beast. Wild Ride. Harmonize. That's cool. I like the Harmonize mechanic because you don't really lose anything for it. You just tap down a creature and you lower the cost. Like it gives extra life to your cards and you don't actually lose anything. Oh, in conjunction with that, that was something I didn't like about Escape, was the cost was really high and then you had to exile cards. This seems way better to me. Lightfoot Technique. Creature gets a 1/1 counter, flying and indestructible until end of turn. Dragonstorm Globe. Each dragon you control gets a 1/1 counter when it enters, and add 1 mana of it. I like that. I'm going to put that to the side. Armament Dragon. Another counter distribution. I like that it's actually wearing armor on it. That's cool. Shocking Sharpshooter. Twin Moss Stormbrood, and it's got that Omen on it. Spectral Denial. Counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Costs X less to cast for every creature you control, power 4 or greater. Oh, it's a dog. Okay, I couldn't even tell. Oh, okay. It's a dog playing fetch with the lightning, with the spell that was cast. I get it. That's cute. Herd Heirloom. Purging Stormbrood with another Omen. Target creature gets 2/2 and gains lifelink and hexproof until end of turn. We've got Thornwood Falls and another copy token. Alright. Okay, we got a treasure token out of this one. I know I skipped some of the tokens on some of these, but yeah. Temur Devotee. I don't know if it's Temur or Temur. So somebody will have to correct me on that. Tempest Hawk, the one name I'd butcher. Oh no, that Earth Carver one. Yeah. Underfoot Underdogs, Goblin Generator. Caustic Exhale, another Behold Dragon card. Crotic Nest Guard. Crotic. Aggressive Negotiations. Jadecast Sentinel, another snake. Teeming Dragonstorm. Have I gotten one of each color now? Keru Goldkeeper. Sunset Strike Master. Oh, there we go. That's a cool artwork. Riling Dawnbreaker. It's got the Omen mechanic. That's the first one I've gotten of that artwork, so that's pretty neat. Hopefully y'all can see that. I'll put that off to the side. That's cool looking. Clarion Conqueror. Activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers cannot be activated. Yours and theirs. That's rough. Skirmish Rhino. Knocking a dude up into the air. We got Blossoming Sands and an elephant token on the back of a treasure token. Oh, that's a cool one. I like that. Oh, I got the weird all black card covered up. It's a little fuzzy because I've got the quality or whatever resolution set to close up so I can show the cards better. Their treasure. Jeskai Devotee again. Got a few of those. Dragon's Prey. Roamer's Routine. Harmonize. Humbling Elder. Fortress Kin Guard. There we go. Get that glare off of the mana value a little bit. Gurmag Night Watch. There's always a card that I will never understand how to actually pronounce. Boulderborn Dragon. It's a Surveil card. Dalkovan Night... I don't know where I got Night Beasts from. Dalkovan Pack Beasts. Rainveil Rejuvenator and Elephant Druid. Yathan Tomb Guard. Frontier... I'm not going to figure that one out. Bivouac out. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to butcher that one. Somebody will understand how to say it. All Out Assault. Ooh, okay. Creatures you control get 1/1 and have Death Touch. And then an additional combat phase on the turn that this enters. Oops, sorry. I was reading it under the camera. It's just got all the dragons and some clans in there. You got Jadecast Sentinel, Jungle Hollow, and a Zombie Druid token. So, let's see here. Alright, so we got some good ones here. There's quite a few in here that I like the look of, and I like the effects of. Not sure if anything in particular is, you know, catching somebody's fancy, but you never know. Like, there's a lot of commons out there that surprise people, a lot of uncommons. Somebody's out there looking for rares. We got all these different Dragonstorms. I actually really like this. Oops, sorry. I like this roamer's routine. Search your library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. But then you harmonize for 5, but X can be reduced by the power of a creature you tap. And basically you're getting another copy of this card for 1, depending on what you're using. I think that's really good. It's a sorcery, so I know a lot of people that would probably argue, you know, it's not an instant, it's not that great, but like, what's wrong with that? It's still good. I'm not trying to win on turn 2. That's pretty cool. There's the red one. I got a few that a couple of my friends would like. I got a few that I like. And I think that's kind of the important thing. It's like, if it's something you wouldn't use, there's always somebody that would use it. It's got a weird scuff there. I like this all-out assault. This is like my brother, he likes art cards because he collects them. And he's working on his Snake Commander. I think it was Xyrus is who he was using as the commander. But he wants to turn it from a draw token generator to a straight up snake deck, like snake tribal. So I've just been on the lookout for anything snake related to pass his way. And if he likes it, he likes it. If he doesn't, it goes back in the collection. Let's see here. More roamers routines. I'm glad I actually got a couple of those. The Skirmish Rhino. White, green, black, 3/4, trample. When it enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. I like those effects. Because I feel like in every group, there's always that 1 or 2 people that are a little aggro whenever you do anything to them. Like, if anything affects them, they're suddenly griping about being targeted. And it's like, I love these hate each opponent cards. Because it just eliminates that whole argument, you know? And then for 3, the 3/4 with trample, and you drain 2. I think that's good. I'm gonna keep that guy off to the side. Clarion Conqueror. I feel like it's not hard to build around something like this. You just don't use activated abilities. You know, you like stuff like this where you have to actually pay a cost and activate it. Like, you just don't use that. And I know there are a lot of dragons that, like this, they don't have to worry about that. So I think that's really good. That's going to go in the Tiamat deck for sure. And then I'll have to look over all these other dragons and see if there are any in there that I can use for it. I don't really have a build. Because like I said, I didn't pay attention to spoilers or anything. I'm not going to lie, I've been obsessed with the Final Fantasy set. But I've been wanting to rebuild my Tiamat deck for a long time because, like, my buddy built it for me and it worked great. But then it started falling short of what my group can do, you know. So I wanted to expand upon it. Started finding ways to cheat creatures into play easier because all the, you know, dragons have high costs. You know, took out the dragons that didn't feel like they were, you know, doing much. Because, like, if you're paying 6 for, like, what was it, Black Dragon, I think? I'm probably saying this wrong, but Black Dragon, when it enters, you target creature your an opponent controls gets -2/-2. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah. So, for 7, Black Dragon is a 7-drop 4/4 Black Dragon with flying, and whenever it enters, one creature in opponent control gets -3/-3 until the end of the turn. That's not worth 7 to me, even with some cost reductions. Like, that's... So, you know, stuff like that I took out and put in things like Monster Manual and... I can't remember the other one. I was thinking Campfire, but that went into a completely different deck. That was not one that went into the Tiamat deck. But, you know, stuff like Monster Manual, where it's easier to cheat out cards. I started putting a bunch of those in it. But it still doesn't feel like it holds up. Like, it feels slow. It's got some big payoffs. But now I'm... You know, everybody kind of knows what's coming with that deck. So, you know, you bring out Tiamat. Obviously, you're going to search your best dragons. And the trick I did was I started doing a reanimator something, just like a little bit. I used 2 different cards. Off the top of my head, I can't remember them. But they made it to where I could take all of my dragons from the graveyard and put them straight to the battlefield. So I would kind of cheese Tiamat and search my best dragons, put them in the graveyard, and then board wipe or something, flood the field, my dragons swing out, you know, stuff like that. And it works a few times, but then it falls flat because everybody knows what's coming. It's just not a good way to do things, you know. So I've been wanting to rebuild it for a while and see if I can come up with something that can help me hold my own against my group a little better. I did not get what creates Reliquary Dragon, but I'll be on the lookout for it because I kind of like that. As long as the card that creates it isn't too expensive or something. I'm kind of a budget player. Like, that's, you know, that's pretty crazy for me. I think the most expensive card I've ever paid for was a Terror of the Peaks for the Tiamat deck. And I traded in partial cards for credit. There's the red one. Oh, I put Reverberating Summons with the Dragonstorm. So, yeah. There's the... Never going to pronounce that. This one. I'm looking for the other... Oh, well, I like that one. The Lotus Light Dancers. Pretty sure it's the Black Dragonstorm. Yeah, I don't know if I got the Black Dragonstorm out of these, did I? I like that. Just getting Wooburg off of the cast, and it's basically, you get it back, so you can use that for something else. I think that would be good in Tiamat. It's not dragons, but you get a 5-drop 3/4, and then you automatically add one of each color. That could be a great way to mana fix. Like, you have, maybe you don't have all your colors, you know, 2 or 3 away, drop this, and all of a sudden you have all the colors you need for Tiamat. Like, that just fixes the issue. Yeah, I don't think I got the Black Dragonstorm in there. I did get 2 other packs with it, but I opened those beforehand. Let's see if I got it in one of those earlier today. Set this up so you can see it. Highspire Bellringer, Osseous Exhale, Molten Exhale, more Behold Dragon stuff. Worthy Cost, which I already have I have a sacrifice deck that's going in. Sagu Pummeler, Unending Whisper, Stormshriek Feral, Watcher of the Wayside, Rally the Monastery, Ureni's Rebuff. Ah, see. It was in the stuff I got earlier today. So now I have each one of the Dragonstorms. And I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if they're good enough to put each one in this, like, one single deck. I don't know what they all do. let's see. The red one, when a dragon enters your control, I think all of them kind of do that. Yeah, when you play a dragon, they bounce to your hand and you can reuse them. So, when this enters the battlefield, exile cards from the top of your library until you get a non-land. You may cast it without paying its cost if its value is 8 or higher. If you don't, you put it in your hand. So you don't lose it, that's good. But you're exiling potentially a lot of cards. And I'm not sure if that's something I could justify using. Just because, like, there's a lot of resources you're losing off of that. And, you know, you've always got the chance that the very first card you exile is a non-land. But then, like, what are the chances it's going to be something you need? Let's see, for this one, when it enters, search your library for up to 2 basic lands, put them on the battlefield, tap, and then shuffle. I will probably add that to Tiamat just because it helps get my colors out. So I like that one. When this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. I've never been a fan of that. I don't like drawing it and discarding. It's just, I've had decks built around it, and it's just not something I've ever really enjoyed. Because I just feel like I'm losing out on resources when I do that. When this enters, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, surveil 2. This kind of falls under the draw and discard thing for me. Just because you're putting them in your graveyard, but you get to choose if you want to put them in your graveyard. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, then put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest on top of your library. I mean, if it's something you don't want to lose, you just put it on top of your library. So, I guess that's not too bad. Plus, it has a little bit of drain in there, and I'm always a fan of that. And then the white one is, when it enters, create 2 2/2 white soldier creature tokens. Again, probably won't use that one because I don't really have much use for soldier tokens in my current decks. But I got a buddy who uses a lot of soldier tokens, so he could. For the rest of that pack, I had Yathan Road Watcher, which my buddy's going to snag. Riverwalk Technique, Thornwood Falls, Elephant, Treasure Token. And then the other one I got, I wasn't really going to include these just because I didn't open them at the same time as the box, but I knew I had that black Dragonstorm. So I got Nightblade Brigade, and I figured if I show one, I might as well show the other. Another Roamer's Routine, Dispelling Exhale, Bearer of Glory, Twin Bolt, Cruel Truths, I'm sorry for the glare, Stormshriek Feral, Teamer Monument, Runescale Stormbrood, got Blue-Red Omen, interesting, Krumar Initiate, Furious Forebearer, and then I got the Tursa Light Shatter, Orc Wizard, 3/3 haste. When it enters, discard up to 2 cards and draw that many. When it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile 1 of them at random. Oh, it's not 1 of them. Okay, so it's just in total, if you have 7 or more, exile a card at random from your graveyard and you get to play it this turn. That's another one that I'm not a fan of, is like, you exile it, and then you get to play that turn, but if you don't, you lose it forever. It's like, most of the time I'm playing stuff, and I'm not the best at mana, what's the word? Just like managing my mana. So, my luck, I play this, and I don't have the proper mana to cast whatever I exiled. So, it's not something I would tend to go for, but I know a lot of people that do, so that won't go to waste. And then I got a War Effort, hopefully you can see that. Creatures you control get +1 power. Whenever you attack, you create a 1/1 red warrior creature token that's also tapped and attacking, and it sacrifices at the beginning of the next end step. And then a Bloodfell Caves and a warrior dragon token. That's it. That's all I got so far. So I got Severance Priest, All Out Assault. I like the All Out Assault. Extra battle phase, and all of your creatures get +1/+1 and Death Touch. There's a few decks I can throw that into. Sandstep Citadel, Frontier, I want to say Bivok. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. Fix that resolution. I got the Lotus Light Dancers. When it's lifelink 3/6 for 5. When it enters, search your library for a black and a... Okay, so you search your library for a black card, a green card, and a blue card. Put them into your graveyard and shuffle. I like the art. I think the card looks cool, but I don't know. I don't know what I would use that for, but I'm sure somebody would. So I'll put that off to the side for now. Gotta pull the snakes aside for my brother. Honestly, I think this is the best one I got. The Mox Jasper. That's cool, and it's gonna help out a lot. And then we've got this interesting one. I don't even know. It's a 2-drop, 1/3 bird with flying. When it enters, or when it attacks, you lose a life, and then this endures 1. I don't know what endures is. Endures? I don't know why I was saying endures. Look that up real quick. Sinkhole Surveyor. Alright, so endures is you put a 1/1 counter on it or create a 1/1 white spirit creature token. Okay, so that, I like that. So you lose a life, but you get a creature token, or this gets a point stronger. I think that's worth it. I like that a lot. And the artwork is just really cool. So. And then the Riling Dawnbreaker. 5-drop, 3/4. Flying Vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gets +1 power. Not that great, honestly. Like, you pay 5 for a 3/4 Flying Vigilance. So that's pretty good. But that one of your creatures gets +1 power. That typically doesn't make or break the difference for me, you know? And then you have the Omen, pay 2 as a sorcery, create a 2/2 white soldier creature token. But the artwork's cool. You have the Draconologist. 3-drop human wizard, 1/3. When this creature enters, sorry, hopefully you can see that. When this creature enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant, sorcery, or dragon from them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. And while this is on the field, untapped dragons you control have hexproof. I like that a lot. It gives you a lot of protection and it helps you out. Like, you only get that first ability when it enters, but, you know, then all your dragons have hexproof as long as they're on top. That's pretty good for me. That's good for me with cards like Miriam. I don't tend to attack with, just so I don't get chump blocked by a bunch of tokens and loser. So this would be really useful for that. And Kodos Fanekeeper, a 4-drop 2/1 zombie warrior with indestructible. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile the top X of their library, where X is the amount of damage you dealt. You may cast any number of spells with mana value X or less from them without paying for it. That is insane. I could see some kind of Voltron deck with this guy just going off and just finding ways to annihilate people. Like, playing your opponent's deck with this thing, that is crazy. I think that's a big hitter. I might actually build a deck around that using that idea. Like a black, green, blue Voltron deck, just trying to get him in there. Maybe mix it with Blade of Cells so you get Myriad. Because it doesn't say it has to be when he attacks. It just says whenever Kodos. So, what is it? Mirrorbox? Yeah. Mirrorbox. You know, there are ways to avoid the legend rule. So you just, Mirrorbox is in there. Yeah. So you could build a deck around him using a few cards that avoid the legend rule. Or maybe you can find ways to, like Miriam, take away the legend status on it and make copies of it or something. I feel like that's powerful. I mean, yeah, you still got to deal the damage to the player, but, you know, if you're running Voltron, obviously you're going to have unblockable, you're going to have protection and stuff. I I feel like this could be a cool deck. And then Dispelling Exhale, like I think I got a couple copies of that so far, but it's a counter spell, except if you reveal a dragon or if you control a dragon and choose it, they have to pay 4 to allow their spell to get cast. Most people aren't going to be okay with that. Like, they're going to cast something like, well, this is a 4, so you play this, and now they have to pay 8. A lot of people are just going to let the card go. Which I'm not talking about, like, competitive situations or CEDH or anything. I'm talking, like, your group of friends or, your local game store. Somebody's just going to let the card die instead of trying to pay that. We have the Felithar Dawn of the Abzan. My friend's probably going to take this one because he's building an Abzan deck, and that's fine. 3/3, 3-drop, trample. Whenever it enters or attacks, you may sacrifice a non-land permanent, and when you do, put a 1/1 counter on every creature you control. If he doesn't take this, I'm putting this in something. That is a good effect. I have a black-green sacrifice deck that doesn't really do too well, so that might be a good option to upgrade it and add some more support and some better cards to it. We have Dragonstorm Globe. Each dragon you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it, and it taps to add 1 mana of any color. Basic mana rock with some utility. I like that. And we got the spin down, and yeah. There's a lot of cards I can use in this. I didn't get anything that I would consider expensive, except for, the Mox Jasper, I think, is listed for like $30 on Scryfall. Which, yes, I use Scryfall to keep up with market value. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you saw some cards that you liked. And, thank you for watching. I'm sorry for, I just want to throw out an apology for stumbling over my words so much. I know it can be distracting or annoying, but, if you made it to this point in the video, I really do thank you for bearing with me this whole time. If I do this again, it'll probably be for Final Fantasy stuff, or if I get more packs of this, if I just decide, I'll buy a pack or 2 here and there, then we'll see where we go. See if we can get some good cards to upgrade some of the decks, and then maybe I'll start showing off some decks too. Future game plans also involve recording games with my friends. And see what happens with that too. So thank you for checking out the video. Thank you for sticking with it for so long if you did. And good luck on your pulls. Have a great day.